Then you compare with the standard cost of labor for actual output. That means with the actual output we produce in terms of the standard cost of labor, how much the company may have to spend for labor. WS, this is the standard wage rate. Standard wage rate, that means standard salary per hours. HS, that means standard hours per unit of product. And you multiply WS, standard salary per hours, multiply with standard hours per unit of product, we have standard cost of labor. That means the labor cost per standard cost of labor per unit of product. So we have the actual quantity and you estimate how much the cost of labor in terms of the standard. And then you compare with the actual cost of labor. Now the labor cost variance will be decomposed into the labor wage rate variance and the labor efficiency variance. The labor wage rate variance is a difference between the actual wage rate. Is a difference between the actual wage rate and the standard wage rate, right? And the labor efficiency variance is a difference between the actual hours per unit of product and the standard hours per unit of product. Now you calculate the direct labor cost variance, and at the end of the month, you calculate, you recognize that the labor cost variance is negative. So what do you think, good or bad? You calculate the direct labor cost variance, and now the result is negative. So what do you think? The labor cost variance is favorable or adverse? The labor cost variance is negative. You calculate and you see the result is negative. So what do you think? The direct labor cost variance is favorable or adverse? Ian, what do you think? What do you think? Where are you? Các bạn có ở đấy không? Chương này chúng ta phải rất là chú ý vì bài thi của các bạn rơi vào cả cái chương này đấy. Rồi câu hỏi các bạn chả trả lời gì cả. Labor cost variance tính ra bằng âm thì là tốt hay không tốt nào? Tốt hay không tốt?
Không tốt ạ.
Không tốt vì sao? Why? Now, direct labor cost variance is negative. So what do you think? Good or bad? Performance is good or bad? Performance is good or bad?
Bad performance.
It's bad performance. Why? When you transfer the labor cost on the right hand side, you transfer the direct labor cost, actual labor cost on the right hand side. If you transfer the actual labor cost on the right hand side, then actual labor cost will be higher than the standard, right? Actual labor cost is transferred on the right hand side of inequality. Then the actual cost of labor will be higher than the standard. That means it costs company more, so more expensive. And the performance of the company is more expensive, it's not good. And the variance therefore is unfavorable. If the variance indicates the good performance, then the variance is favorable. But in case the variance indicates the bad performance, then the variance is unfavorable. Now, because the labor cost variance is negative, that means unfavorable variance. The performance is bad. So we investigate why. Is this due to the wage rate variance or is this due to the labor efficiency variance? The labor cost variance calculated is negative. That means the actual cost of labor higher than the standard. The company spend more for labor than the standard. So it's more expensive for the company, right? And in that case, the performance is bad and the variance therefore is unfavorable. So we investigate why. Why is the actual cost of labor higher than the standard? Is this due to the wage rate variance or is this due to the labor efficiency variance? Now, in case the unfavorable labor cost variance is due to the wage rate variance, that means the actual wage rate higher than the standard. So what do you think, good or bad? In case the unfavorable labor cost variance, unfavorable labor cost variance is due to the wage rate variance. That means the actual wage rate higher than the standard. So what do you think, good or bad? Actual wage rate higher than the standard. So good or bad? More expensive for the company, right? Actual wage rate higher than the standard. That means company pay more salary per hours than the standard. So it costs company more. So in that case, it is more expensive for the company. And it seems reduce the profit of company, and we investigate why. Why is the actual cost higher than the standard? So what are the reason for the actual wage rate the high level? What are the reason? Why is the actual wage rate higher than the standard according to you? Any reason? Why the company pay actual wage rate at the high level higher than standard? Now, what are the reason? What are the reason for the high actual wage rate? The actual wage rate of company higher than the standard. Company pay more for 1 hour, and it become more expensive for the company. So company have to investigate why. Why is the actual wage rate higher than the standard? What are the reason? And can the company accept? What are the reason for the high actual wage rate? Any ideas? Tại sao lại xảy ra tình trạng là đơn giá tiền lương thực tế cao hơn so với dự toán? Có thể do những nguyên nhân gì nào?
lạm phát ạ.
Lạm phát, okay. The inflation making the living cost increase, become more expensive for the worker. So company have to pay higher salary for worker, right? So in case of inflation, you say that the living cost goes up and the standard wage rate become outdated, and we recommend the company to increase the standard wage rate. Lạm phát làm cho cái chi phí của cuộc sống nó trở nên đắt hơn, living cost increase, chi phí cuộc sống đắt hơn cho nên công ty đã phải trả lương cao hơn. Vậy thì trong trường hợp này chúng ta thấy rằng là cái standard wage rate này nó bị lạc hậu rồi. Cho nên chúng ta đề xuất công ty là phải điều chỉnh tăng cái standard wage rate lên. Lạm phát cho nên là giá cả tăng và chi phí của cuộc sống đắt hơn cho nên chúng ta phải trả lương cho công nhân cao hơn, và do đó nó thể hiện rằng cái standard wage rate này nó bị lạc hậu rồi. Và chúng ta đề xuất là công ty phải điều chỉnh cái standard wage rate lên, không thể